So, but it's good. The season is showing that we are closer to springtime. I love imbuya, I'm not gonna lie. Amaranth is one of my favorite, definitely, because now I get to feel that, oh, this is how ancestors used to farm. I look forward to figs. We've got fig trees, a fig tree in fact, which is our oldest tree in the space. It's 100 if I'm not mistaken. So that is one of my favorite fruit as well. My name is Mpati Mota. I'm an organic farmer based in Soweto, Rockville. I have a food garden which I created in Orlando East, Soweto. This is when the birth of soil on indigenous life became about, which is what is the name of the business. It's an acronym for SOIL, which stands for Soul Indigenous Life. Basically, our aim was to create a food space where we are focusing on growing indigenous food crops. And the goal was using even permaculture principles. This is now us farming using natural ways of farming and just working with nature. And with that system, we invite certain insects, even beneficiary insects, that help us to clean up the food garden, in fact. Now, this is now where permaculture comes in, because we create it for the future, so that as time goes, environment will start now working for itself most of the time. Medicinal herbs like our own mhlonyane, we have even speckbomb, which is growing in our space. Now these are indigenous food plants and herbs which work even within the season that we are in. As we research the food systems, on myself personally, I came across, the foods and coming across different food crops and finding out about certain food crops which are now being grown in the labs, where we've got now certain seeds which are now chemically made or genetically modified. I became now that person who wanted to now focus on another way of farming. And really, I got inspired to now want to introduce organic crops to the society, because it's what we don't get across as we go across in our superstores and supermarkets around. People are not exposed to organic food crops.
The passion is boiling inside of me, is only popping out, If I want to meditate, I go into the kitchen and I cook. If I feel like I'm disconnected to myself, I go into the kitchen and I cook something. Like I will wake up with a crazy recipe in my head and I go. And also what I love about this is I get to create whatever I want. So my name is Nontlantla. People know me as Chef Noni. I'm a professional chef. I'm a chef. I'm a teacher as well around indigenous foods, and I'm also a healer. And the enhancements that come with extended realities when it comes to promoting indigenous foods. Of course, young people can now look at our food, and it looks appealing and it looks like something that they can eat, something that they can get used to, because that's what we're looking for. We're looking at making sure that the young people are latching on and they're catching on to what really belongs to us. We are literally food bodies, and we are representatives of where we come from. The collaboration between FERL and SA Chefs, is really gotten us to a point where we feel like we're winning. As a healer, there's so many aspects that are linked or that are attached to recognizing our ingredients as African people, particularly South Africa. South Africa is one of the countries that absolutely lost food identity completely, and we're struggling with so many diseases and illnesses, and food could seriously just be that solution right now. We're also suffering from, mental illnesses, which are linked to a whole lot of spiritual things that are really now have hit the market. But we all know what I'm talking about, But also, are we eating the right kind of foods to connect to ourselves? Do we know what these foods do for you? Especially because we're so active. We're active. We're in sports. We're in all these things. You're studying, and how do you focus? What do you eat to focus? We're just eating to fill up our bellies, But we're not eating to maintain the body. We're not eating to maintain a healthy mind. Being able to go and eat in Lubu, food that your great-grandparents ate, and they lived so much longer. Climate justice means we cannot go and force something to grow from the soil when it is not time for it to grow in the soil. We cannot go and eat foods that we know are going to be harming the soil and are also not going to have the nutritional benefits. You understand? We need to be having conversations about seeds. So shout out to FERL and shout out to SA Chefs for providing this platform, because it's time that as chefs we have this conversation. We're the doctors, we're the healers, of the world. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Chef Sibinyembe. So today I'll be preparing you a pumpkin leaf sorghum stir fry with some red sorghum. So this is actually very close to me, I'm not really actually big on the indigenous food when it comes to my family and all of that, but as I learn into the industry and getting to know the different ingredients and all, so this is one of the dishes that actually came to me very close when I started learning more of the indigenous food, and I just wanted to prepare this meal. As a journey into the culinary industry and having to now have to change into a different, diverse, and having indigenous food being incorporated into our daily lives, and having to also create something that is very healthy and that has good nutrients into our culinary world right now, it has been a very interesting one, because it's just been a nice change where you get to play with your own earthy indigenous ingredients and having to incorporate it to bring it into our latest presentation. With the students, it's a bit challenging with the new diets and all, so it basically helps the students to learn more about what good foods that they can have and good ingredients they can use.
They are fighting around who's the best jollof person. We're fighting the Dombolo issue,
which is between the two tribes.
Yeah.
Actually, the Ngunis, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dumpling is done by everyone in South Africa. Good afternoon. My name is Chef Absa. I am a professional chef, and I'm from the company called Happy Spoon. So today, what I'm cooking, I'm making a sorghum salad that's gonna have bambara beans. I'm using a red millet sorghum and a white millet sorghum. I'll use some vegetables, some onions, some garlic to give it a bit of flavor. I'll add a bit of coriander in it, and that will be the part one. The second part will be the risotto. So I'm using the white millet risotto. The white millet sorghum, and I'm gonna use it with hibiscus. A young person have an inspiration to start something and learn and understand it, and you move from there to a culinary space to understand technique and also understand the cooking method. And from there, it's something that has been adapted to the Western life. I feel we need to come back and adapt the same method and principles into the indigenous world, so that it speaks to the broader aspect of who we are. We Black South Africans, we love what our grandmothers used to cook for us. And it's important to match the two together. And living in this world of 2024, it has shaped an individual that now promotes indigenous food through different methods of cooking and presentation. So as a chef and FERL collaboration, it's an important investment in the students, and it also a good investment in us because a research that interprets what quantifies the indigenous food, the healthy aspect of it, it's something that we need to start debating and talking about it more. It's an investment as well for students that are not aligned to indigenous culture. You'll be more focused. I think that will bring even a sustainable human being in the long run. So I grew up surrounded by a number of aunts and sisters, and cooking was one of the things that brought people together. And with my grandmother being an entrepreneur at the time, I think it had an influence of the person and the kind of human being I am. The principles and respects that he did uphold to run her business, it made me realize the importance of entrepreneurship and also working with people.
I think they do. Let's just check. Yeah, let's check and yes, Dean. Okay, Dean. Hi, my name is Tembinkosi Kumalo, popularly known as Chef Kumalo. I am from a company called TechnoPro Trading Enterprise. Under TechnoPro, we run a skill center and a culinary institution. I'm also the president of African Chefs, and I'm the principal of the institution, and I'm also the World Skills Expert South Africa cooking. So today we've really, for me, I like being ambitious with our indigenous ingredients. So we prepared what I like to call nzuri nzuri. It's Swahili meaning very, very nice. So it resembles a panna cotta, but I really don't want to use those words because the method used to preparing it is a little bit different from a panna cotta. So nzuri nzuri, so it's going to be very nice. And then we are also going to be preparing madumbe chips, which we are going to serve with a curried ragu of some grains, and those will be your bambara nuts, sorghum, and some millet. And we are also going to be doing a nice vegetarian pizza, kind of. It resembles a pizza, but we are going to use our traditional ingredients to do that. So the ingredients that I'll be using for nzuri nzuri specifically, we will be using baobab nuts, which we are going to boil and infuse some flavors with some milk and coconut. And then we are also going to use hibiscus, so it's going to be kind of a marbled dessert. In our hibiscus, we've infused some cinnamon and some cumin seeds, a little bit of cream, and we are going to be setting it with agar-agar. And then for the other dishes, we are obviously going to be using the grains, which will be the jugo beans, known as bambara nuts, some millet, and some sorghum. And then we have some fresh vegetables to add in there, like your tomatoes, cucumber, and some peppers.
My name is Nomathemba Mbogazi. I'm coming from Mpumalanga. I'm making breakfasts. After 10, I'm cooking cowhead. That is my own business that I do. I'm cooking sour porridge in the morning. It's only mabele. I sorghum. Yeah, sorghum in English. Yes, I do that in the morning. After 10, I prepare, I cook cowhead.
Okay.
Nyama entloko, yeah.
Okay, is it very popular?
Nyama entloko. I didn't stay with my mom. I grew up with my grandmother. They help us too much because we are healthy, we are strong. We don't get sick easily like those people, our children from now.
We have cooked the risotto millet. So we use the white millet. We use the hibiscus as well, which is cooked in coconut and a bit of white onion and red onion. And then we charred the chicken with the leftovers of the coconut and the hibiscus. And this is what we have here. And to go with it, we have our side salad, which is boiled bambara beans, and it's got carrots, it's got millet, it's got white sorghum, it's got the fresh leaves of mint, it's got coriander, and it's got pomegranate as well. We finished it with the marula nuts.
So here we've got a pumpkin leaf sorghum stir fry. So we just basically we sauteed our ginger and garlic and onion in the beginning, and then we just added on our carrots. So just to cook off the carrots, we added a bit of pumpkin leaf stock, and then as we went on, we just added on our sorghum, and then we finished off with our herbs, and then we made a nice little sauce for it, which was a lemon coriander ginger sauce to just go with our stir fry.
So I've got a sorghum patty, which is, I think maybe the patty is not even, doesn't have that very strong name to hold it because it has everything. I think the name patty is too weak for this very strong sorghum patty that I made here, which is made from madumbe, which is cocoyam. It's made from bambara nuts, it's made from sorghum, it's made from marula nuts, it's made from pumpkin leaf, amaranth, imboya, magwagwa, and put together with chickpea, fully plant-based of course, and absolutely vegan if you want the simple version of it. And then of course I added some beautiful spices in there, some cumin and coriander. I molded it together into this beautiful patty, which can be enjoyed with this particular dip on its own. Then the dip is made from amaranth, raw amaranth, which is imbuya ngaphekwana, and coconut milk, as well as lemon, garlic, ginger, coriander. So it's like it's a dip, it's a dressing. You can add it to your salad, and gosh, you can drink it. It's good for you. Yeah, so shout out to Amaranth. I think it's like the star of the show. Imbuya, shout out to my grandmother because she seriously would have gotten all the credit right now because she put me on. I've got mabele again. The sorghum story will never end. It's never ever going to end. So today I've got both savory and I've got sweet. So if you remember my mandazi, which of course is a East African inspired guinya, which is deep fried, but instead this time I decided to do like a bread stick, you know, with the same dough from sorghum flour, and we added chai masala and coconut milk, and turn it into bread into the oven.
We've taken fresh, naturally grown ingredients and we've brought them to the kitchen. Slowly, fresh, naturally grown. And we've turned them into art. I like working with art in the food. So let me start with something that is savory. We've taken a mixture of grains, which is chuko beans, millet, the two types of sorghum, the white sorghum and the brown one. And we've made it into a curry ragu. In the chef language, isitshulu in our language, isitshulu, which is cooked with peppers, packed with flavors of cumin, coriander. We've got some peppers there. And then we've made spicy, slightly spicy madumbe, which we've soaked in a little bit of lemon, water with a touch of olive oil, but you can use any kind of oil. We soaked it for a few minutes with salt and pepper, some coriander and some mint, and we, you know, you can air fry, you can do whatever, but we tried it in the oven because, I mean, air fryers, it comes from the oven. It's built from the oven. So we then plate it up nicely with the salsa of carrots, peppers, coriander again, and salt and pepper. But this side we plated it a little bit different, just to maybe showcase the versatility of these ingredients. You shouldn't say that because it's cooked like a stew, then you should always plate it like. Here we added amaranth, fresh amaranth, just to, if somebody enjoys some leafy vegetables, you can just add them into this particular dish just to make it nice. And then this side, we have nzuri nzuri. Nzuri nzuri means nice, 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 nice. Amachachas and nanas is yori yori, isn't it? Kalagahle la. Kalagahle ngempela if you love your sweet mfethu. So what we did here, we took baobab nuts and we cooked them in milk and a bit of water. We added a bit of cream there. We made a nice creamy baobab cream. And then we also took hibiscus. We also cooked it slowly with an infusion of cumin seeds and some cinnamon. And we added a little bit of cream. So this one, we then turned it into a dessert by adding agar-agar. You can use gelatin just to set it. It's a marble, so if you cut into it with a spoon, you will see that it will be two colors. So you have white and you have red. So it's a marble, kind of almost a panna cotta style. But because we boiled it, in a panna cotta you don't really boil your cream, you just cook it below boiling point. And then marbled nzuri nzuri. I'm not a dessert person myself, I don't like sweet stuff, but this one has got a bit of sharpness. It's got some absinthe flavor in it. It's got a bit of savory in it. So anyone, if you don't like dessert, but you want something a bit sweet, this is your type of dessert. And remember, this is made with our indigenous ingredients that anybody can get access to. Yeah, Chef Khumalo.